You need to think like a salesperson when seeking employment. Hello, I'm Donna Davis, life coach and author of Tips from Your Job Coach, a strategic guide for employment seekers. Find us on facebook.com/Tips from Your Job Coach. Do you think like a salesperson when looking for employment? When searching for employment, it may be wise to do what salespeople do. You are the product you are selling. Get to know your prospective employer. A good salesperson must know their potential client. You must know your potential employer. Do your research. There's just no excuse not to have a good understanding about the company for whom you are seeking employment. You can get so much information from the company website. Although it may be impossible to tailor your pitch to employers, you can do some research to find out what skills they are in the market for. Hiring managers get frustrated when sitting in an interview with someone who has little knowledge or understanding of the company. Once you've done your research, not only can you tailor your skills and experience appropriately, you'll also look more knowledgeable in an interview. Find out what their mission is, where they're going, and as much as you can about their product or service. Or see if anyone in your network knows someone who works there and can give you some insight. Ask questions and listen to the answers. Did you know that a salesperson speaks 20% of the time? They ask questions and listen to the answers 80% of the time. A good salesperson knows when you ask questions, you control the conversation. A good employment interview allows plenty of time to communicate your value. When the interviewer asks if you have any questions, you should have prepared at least 5 questions. These questions should be a combination about the company in general and specific questions about the position that you're applying for. So, in preparation for your employment interview, you need to jot down some questions in advance and then add to questions as they arise in the interview. Make yourself stand out. Top salespeople know their competition. They find out all they can about the competitor's offering. The features, the benefits, the drawbacks, everything. Why? So they can best differentiate themselves. They know buyers have any number of options. So the only way that they can capture the market share is to offer something the competition doesn't. When it comes to job hunting, you are the product. Find out what makes you unique and focus your pitch. Maybe you have a blog. You could have an industry blog, an established following. That could be used to the company's advantage. Maybe the company is expanding internationally and you worked or studied abroad. Sell it. Not only will they see your unique offering as a benefit, they will remember you. And guess what happens to memorable people? They get called in for a first, second, or third interview. Getting past the gatekeeper. A salesperson builds a rapport with the gatekeeper or find ways to bypass them entirely. It's their job to do whatever they can to stop a salesperson from getting through. Salespeople have lots of tricks to get in the door, and nothing can stop them. The salesperson builds a rapport with the gatekeeper or find ways to bypass them entirely. The gatekeeper is anyone standing between you and the prospective employer, the boss, the person who is conducting the interview. In sales, it's the decision maker. For you, it's the receptionist or executive assistant, the HR manager, or even a nondescript email alias. The gatekeeper's job is to screen correspondence, hence your resume. So how do you make sure your resume is seen by the hiring person? You can call the company directly and ask the name of the person hiring for that position. You may not get an answer, but at least you gave it a shot. Another is to research the department itself and find out. Find out what their email address might be. This may not be as difficult as you think. Once you figure that out, email your resume directly to them. As sales is an ongoing process, it involves a series of steps for a period of time. In a tough economy, customers who would usually make a purchase will now stop and think carefully if it's the exact thing they need. The recession delays employers in making impulsive hires. They have plenty of resumes from candidates to choose from than in a good economy. No matter what the state of the economy, the person hiring is probably very busy dealing with some more mission-based daily responsibilities. For this reason alone, it's critical that you follow up because they may just forget you. Send a thank you note immediately after your interview. If you haven't heard from them within a week of sending your resume or your interview, send a follow-up email briefly reiterating your qualifications or something you forgot to mention in the interview. Doing so will communicate just how interested you are in the job and will keep you fresh in their memory. But following up isn't easy. You'll have to keep track of your correspondence, particularly more promising ones. Send a thank you note immediately after your interview. Doing so will communicate just how interested you are in the job and will keep you fresh in their memory. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's certainly not a waste of time. Just like in sales, following up with an existing lead is more costly and time effective than chasing down a brand new one. Turning a no into a yes is the salesperson's mantra. Each rejection brings you a step closer to success. They expect a certain number of rejections before they see success. Job hunting is the same. You will face plenty of rejections repeatedly before getting hired. Keep it up though. All it takes is one yes for a successful search for employment. This has been Donna Davis telling you you need to think like a salesperson when seeking employment.